Today, police are investigating a bizarre accident that shut down a section of the MaryHill Bypass overnight. It happened at around 9:30 last night near the Shaughnessy Street exit. Investigators say a vehicle somehow began driving the wrong way along the busy route and eventually crashed into 5 vehicles. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries, but the jaws of life had to be used to extract one driver from their car. Police believe alcohol was a definite factor in this incident.
There's a collision involving about 5 vehicles. Looks like the driver that caused the vehicle may have been impaired, but we're still looking into that. And it also appears as though the vehicle was driving on the wrong side of the road. That's what caused the collision.
The search continues for a suspect in connection with a fatal shooting in Richmond over the weekend. A man was found dead late Friday night in the parking lot of a Sikh temple on Westminster Highway. The victim has been identified as 42-year-old Edwin Shek Ying Chen, and he was known to police. He did not have any connections with the temple, and it's not known why he was there. Police believe this shooting was targeted and say there is no danger to the public. A 20-year-old hiker has been found dead after going missing in Chilliwack Lake Provincial Park. It's thought he ran ahead of his friends on Friday afternoon while they were on the Lindman Lake Trail. When they got there, the man couldn't be found. Search and rescue volunteers combed the area for more than 20 hours. They eventually found a body in a boulder field. Rescuers say it appears the man fell and died from his injuries. People living in Port Moody are growing increasingly concerned after a 4th sinkhole has turned up because of Evergreen Line construction. The latest happened along Clark Road near Seaview Drive. The area was shut down to traffic for most of the weekend, but one lane was reopened yesterday afternoon. The mayor of Port Moody is also speaking out over this 2-kilometer stretch, which is set to be completed later this year. He's also upset with how the traffic detours have been handled, with truck traffic being rerouted through residential neighborhoods. Police are warning parents after a suspected child luring incident in Vancouver's Killarney neighborhood on Friday. It happened near L'École Anne Hébert Elementary. Officers say a man and a woman pulled up to a 6-year-old girl in a silver Honda Civic and asked her if she wanted to get inside. The girl refused the ride and ran away to find an adult at the school. Police are now trying to locate the car and identify the couple. Fast action from firefighters has saved an apartment complex in East Vancouver from going up in flames. At least 7 fire crews were on the scene at Triumph Street near Nanaimo yesterday afternoon. There are reports the flames were first spotted on the roof of the building.
There was a report of explosions. We don't know what caused those explosions or even if they occurred. However, I can say that the fire, which was visible from a couple of miles away, was put out very quickly, given that it was up on the top floor and the roof of the building. The crews got the lines off and up to the top extremely quickly and minimized the damage.
Investigators remained on scene yesterday to work out exactly what started the fire. Thomas Mulcair says the NDP will make living in cities like Vancouver more affordable. Speaking in False Creek on Sunday, Mulcair says he will give more money and power to municipalities if his party wins the federal election in the fall. He says there will be more funding for infrastructure, transit, and housing. The pledge includes $5 billion to be spent on projects over the next 2 decades and a promise to build more affordable housing.
We're working on very concrete proposals that would be very creative in terms of fiscal incentives to build more affordable rental housing. That has to be a part of it. And we have to make sure that a city like Vancouver is no longer in that trap where the people who work here can't afford to live in the city where they work.
After 17 years in operation, Chapters has closed its doors for good in downtown Vancouver. The store at Robson and Howe Streets now officially shut down. Although the shelves were mostly bare, plenty of shoppers took a moment out of their day to take one last look through the location over the weekend. The company is rebranding as Indigo and says it will continue to operate its busy location at Broadway and Granville in Vancouver. The downtown location is set to be turned into a Sport Chek. A major snafu for Toronto commuters this morning as the city's entire subway system shut down in the middle of rush hour. Service on all 4 TTC subway lines was suspended due to what the Transit Authority is calling a major communication issue. Officials say the system network lost radio communication at around 6:30 local time, and the backup system did not kick in. The subway system has since resumed, but the hour-long shutdown certainly disrupted the start to the work work week for thousands of people right across the GTA this morning. BC Place will host its first round of action later today in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Greg Harper is in downtown Vancouver with the preview of this morning of today's events. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. Yes, the World Cup arrives here in Vancouver. 2 games taking place at BC Place Stadium here today will likely be loud. The first one is Cameroon versus Ecuador. That goes at 4. Then at 7, you have Japan versus Switzerland. This is Group C action, and the stadium will likely be loud. And this is Group C action. Now, there had been some serious questions and concerns about the turf here at BC Place, but it has been given the green light from FIFA ahead of the 2 contests today. Also some questions surrounding the economic benefit of the World Cup being here in Vancouver. The city is projecting that the tournament will generate over $36 million in revenue, but there are some that are disputing that. There will be 9 games in total here at BC Place, including the final, which is sold out. That goes July 5th.